folks, we're back. This is Steve Sanson, Stephanie Phillips with another episode of Veterans in Politics. Today we have Jim Blockey, candidate for Nevada's Congressional District Number 1. But before we get to Ms. Blockey, Ms. Phillips.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, and thank you to our sponsors. We have Dr. Ari Nagy. He's running for Congressional District 3. His website is nagyforcongress.com, and that's F-O-R, nagyforcongress.com. We also have Henderson's mayor, Michelle Romero. She's running for re-election. Her website is votemichelleromero.com, votemichelleromero.com. We also have Cody K. Whipple. He's running for Congressional District 4. His website is codykforcongress.com, and that's the number 4, codykforcongress.com. We also have Dave Marlin. He's running for City Council, Las Vegas City Council, Ward 6. His website is daveforvegas.com, and that's F-O-R, daveforvegas.com. We also have Judge Jennifer Schwartz, and she is running for re-election, and that is Department 17. Her website is judgeschwartz.com, judgeschwartz.com. And we also have the Hangers Association, and that is vgthog.org. You want to get in touch with them and find out what's going on. Tim Ross is over there. Website is vgthog.org. And also a shout out to Jennifer Schwartz. We're wearing her t-shirts. Congratulations, Judge Schwartz. She was endorsed by the veterans groups, our joint veteran endorsement. And so if you guys, whoever are our endorsed candidates, if you guys get us t-shirts, we will wear your t-shirts for a show and give you a little shout out. So anyway, also don't forget to grab your copy of Steve's book, How to Navigate Nevada's Family Court System. You can get a copy on Amazon. It is $14.99. And it is a self-help book. So if you are a litigant in family court and you don't have an attorney and can't afford one, you're going to want to grab this book, and it will help you navigate that system. Also, we have a merch store. It's VIPImerch.com, VIPImerch.com. There's all kinds of fun things for you to check out there. And also, from my rant, it's kind of a rant, but not really interesting today. The Nye County Chairman, Leo Blundo, was federally indicted. Let me find this. It's some serious charges. I mean, he's facing up to 120 years in prison is what these charges carry. He has been charged with 5 counts of wire fraud and 2 counts of money laundering. My goodness. Maximum statutory penalty is 120 years, a 3-year term of supervised release, and $1.75 million fine. This apparently was for falsely inflating his restaurant's gross revenue, filing these for COVID relief loans. This is what has been alleged, and this is what he is charged with. This is a federal indictment. And I find this interesting, Leo, that, a few weeks ago, you put out a press release about another individual, and you were just so quick to do that on the Nye County Central Republican Facebook page. But I don't see a press release yet about your own stuff. So a little hypocrisy there. And what I would say, I know everybody is innocent until proven guilty, and that's the way our system works. But with this, I would say maybe you should step aside and resign until this is handled. So it's funny how the tables turn. He was so eager to get that press release out and seemingly, defame this person, in my opinion, with what I saw and then what really happened, and, try to hurt a political adversary of yours. So it's funny how these things come around. Karma always comes around.
Sure does. Thank you, Ms. Phillips.
You're welcome.
Before we get to our guests, folks, as you know, we had our joint veterans endorsement interviews for judicial candidates. The final judicial candidate endorsement interviews was Saturday, March 7th. and I want to read the endorsed candidates. And before I read the endorsed candidates, I want to thank all the panel members, all the sponsors, everybody that was involved, all the candidates, whether they received their endorsements or not. I want to thank you for coming and participating. And it's like I tell everybody, you might not like our group, or you might not want to come and sit in front of a camera and answer questions that's not scripted, but you get a lot of publicity because each of these endorsement interviews carry thousands of views. So it's up to you. If you want to be brave and sit in front of a camera, answer questions, or you just want to be a little scaredy cat and just not, it's up to you. I mean, when I elect somebody because they're strong, not because they're weak and avoid questions. But some of you do. That's your choice. That's why you don't get elected. But I just want to read all these candidates. Congratulations to Judge Bill Henderson, Clark County District Court, Department R. Judge Michelle Mercer, Clark County District Court, Family Division, Department Z. Judge Alicia Albritton, Henderson Municipal Court, Judge, Department 1. Judge Barbara Shafalakwa.
Did you get that right, Barbara?
Shafalakwa.
Very close.
You mean I didn't get it? Shafalakwa.
No, that's close. Yeah.
Judge Barbara Shafalakwa. Henderson Justice of the Peace, Department 3. Trent Richards, Henderson Justice of the Peace, Department 4. Judge Chris Canyon, North Las Vegas Municipal Court, Department 1. Amanda Palazzari, Las Vegas Municipal Court, Department 1. Jessica Green, Las Vegas Municipal Court, Department 2. And folks, there's one race we abstained because VIP Consultant was representing a candidate in that race. So we abstained from that race. Not like some of you folks that confuse the pot and mix it around, and we don't do that. We try to be as total transparent. Ain't that right, Ray Rocha? Isn't that right? Yeah. So we abstained, and Armed Forces Chamber is the one that conducted the interview and gave their endorsement to Christine Brewer, Clark County District Court, Department, Family Division, Department S. So congratulations to all of our endorsed candidates, from February 21st, February 28th, and March 7th. So we're done with judicial candidates.
Yes.
I mean, we have seen so many attorneys that would make us cry.
Those 3 days, those were long 3 days. And it's Skifalakwa, I think.
Skifalakwa.
I think I got that right, Judge.
So now, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of folks have been calling me and Ms. Phillips and asking us when we're going to conduct endorsement interviews for the non-judicial race. But here it goes. We don't put a schedule together until filing deadline is over. And filing deadline is over on Friday, March 13th. We're not like those other groups that just hands you their endorsement. That's not how we do it. You want our endorsement, you come and work for it. You come in front of a panel and you get interviewed, and you go on Facebook Live and all the other social media platforms we have. I think we have about like 10 or 11 of them, different social media platforms. Plus, I don't know how many Facebook pages we have, probably a couple hundred.
Oh, a lot.
So we've been involved in this for a very long time, over 2 decades. So we know exactly what we're doing, and we're starting up again our Northern Nevada chapter. So they're going to be involved, so we could cover the entire state of Nevada. Mm-hmm. Nowhere to run. So just want to let you know, if you want to be endorsed by our group or our groups, come to the endorsement interview. We don't give out our endorsements. We don't give you questionnaires. We don't do that because your mama could fill them out. Your campaign manager could fill them out. Anybody could fill them out except for you. And you're the candidate, right? Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. So we don't do that. You come and it's unscripted. We don't know what any of the questions are or who's going to ask what. We just do it. And if you want to be elected official, you got to think on your feet. So I said this weekend, by next week, I'll have a list, and then I'll push it out to all the candidates. So you'll know exactly where and when your endorsement interviews are going to take place. So don't call me, don't text me, I will contact you.
That includes your race too.
That includes your race, Mr. Blockey.
All right, well, gosh, I'm here.
Yes, you are. So, Mr. Blockey, thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
Could you give us a bio?
Well, first off, I want to give glory to God, the Father of Jesus Christ. I always do that because he's the reason we have America. And he's the only thing that's going to save America. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be any particular congressional candidate, judge, anything like that. It's going to take God. But God does use people. He used Moses. He used David. And, people always say, hey, God could have made the ark, but he used Noah. And so that's what I'm here for. A bio of me is, I've been involved in Nevada. I've been here, it'll be 52 years in April. And the Air Force brought me out here.
Thank you for your service.
It was my honor. And I
didn't see that in your bio, though.
Oh, really? It should be.
When were you in the Air Force?
1971 to 1974.
Okay.
Is when I was stationed out here.
Yeah. Where'd you go to boot camp?
Lackland.
Okay.
I didn't know you were a veteran.
Yeah.
That's great.
Basic training was actually the most fun for me.
Of course it was. It was Air Force.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. I always say I was the smarter of all of my friends who were Marines and stuff.
What are you trying to say?
I had it easy. You guys got beat up. But actually, it was not that easy. But I wanted to be a pilot, but and I'm colorblind, so I couldn't. There was a lot of things I couldn't do, and so that's why I only served.
I'm colorblind too.
And
I thought Miss Phillips was black, and then I found out that she's really brown.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. When I'm a retired teacher, and it was funny because
was that?
Yeah,
being a retired teacher.
It's great being retired.
How long were you serving as a teacher?
22 years.
What schools were you?
I was at Biltmore, which is expelled kids, and then I worked
in the bad kids.
Yeah, I worked in jail as well. So I
what kind of teacher were you?
Math.
Math.
I teach high school. Yeah,
and you teach troubled children.
Yeah, a lot of them were troubled and
psychological background.
A lot of them, a lot of them were just made a little mistake.
Right.
And they end up there. And those guys you could work with. But then there was a lot of guys who could show up twice a week, and that was to, meet their drug dealer or do their drugs and stuff. And
what side of town were you?
Biltmore was over by, was it Veterans Memorial and Las Vegas Boulevard right there in Washington. Okay. That was where it was. And, there was tough kids there. There was really kids that, that we could make an impact on. Unfortunately, with our school system right now, you can't make any kind of impact because discipline is frowned upon. And even expelled kids. I would kick a kid out of a class because he told me to go blank myself, and the principal would come and holler at me.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'll tell that kid, tell the principal the same thing you told me.
Yeah. And he would. And the principal would say, well, that's not very nice. Go back to class. And that's the problem. If that happens in expelled schools, can you imagine what's happening in our regular schools? Mm-hmm. And so, anyways, I did a comedy act for a while here in town.
Did you?
Yeah.
You know Tim Treffinger?
No.
Okay.
But I did it for 5 years. We got paid $100 over 5 years, so I became a teacher.
Wow.
That's when you don't get paid for. I guess I wasn't very funny. But,
now that's funny.
Yeah. But so that's why I became a teacher, and I was one of those teachers. See, the school system doesn't care if you're a Christian or if you're conservative. They care if you open your mouth. Mm-hmm. And that was a problem. And as you know, I ran in 1998, and I was very open about the problems in our school system.
What did you run for in 98?
It was Congress.
Okay.
And they didn't like what I had to say, and so that's why I had to retire at 22. They actually fired me for hitting a kid, and they had video of the whole thing.
Did you hit the kid?
No, I didn't touch him. And they had the video showing the whole thing.
Then why weren't you vindicated?
I got my job back.
Oh, okay.
It took 22 months.
Did you sue him for back pay?
No. Well, no, I got my back pay. Didn't have to sue him for it. As soon as I won my arbitration, they had to give me my back pay. But you paid for me for 22 months. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Well, I didn't work.
While you were on vacation.
I had to stay at home. I couldn't go out of my home. But for 14 months, I was at home. And then they fired me. And the week my book was released. And then I went to arbitration 7 months later. And the arbitrator, he goes, where'd you guys get that video? And my attorney says, well, that's theirs. He goes, yours? It showed I didn't touch the kid. They didn't have a kid. So I got my job back a month later.
That's why body cameras on law enforcement are so important.
The problem with them,
They should put them on teachers too, because this isn't like the first time this has happened.
Yeah, but the problem is with those body cams, you've seen how, the liberals, the Lawa liberals, they take it and they spin it to however they want to. I mean, they can say a peaceful protest with buildings burning in the background.
Mostly peaceful. CNN thought it was mostly
it's
peaceful.
just like, so body cams aren't probably the answer either. I think God is, so people can start being honest and moral again. And because it's really frustrating to listen to CNN and to, in those places who just lie. And people believe it. Our kids believe it. And the reason why is, believe it or not, it was 86 years ago or 96 years ago when they changed how we taught how to read. We went from phonics to the look-say method. See Johnny run? They show a picture of Johnny running. Well, the pictures are one side of the brain and the alphabet's the other, and that jumbles up. And actually, that causes dyslexia. Dyslexia is mostly man-made. Back in 1930, 1 in 1,000 people had dyslexia. 1 in 1,000, and those people were geniuses. I can name a few. Einstein, he was dyslexic. He was considered special ed. He was a genius. Those people are smart. I know people who can read backwards faster than they could read forwards.
Was he using some type of drugs as well?
I don't know. I'm going to
plead
plead the fifth. No, I wasn't there. I'm not that old yet. I'm getting there. But anyway, so that happened. And so in about 30 years from then, 30, 40 years, 2% adult illiteracy went to 40%. 40% of our adults are illiterate. Doesn't mean they can't read. Just means they don't read well enough to understand things. So they have to listen. So if they listen to CNN, that's what they listen to. That's what they believe. And that's how you get a Joe Biden in office. Somebody who, can't spell their name. And forward or backwards. So, yeah. And I never was term limits until recently.
You weren't for term limits?
No, I figured we were smart enough voters if we didn't want somebody in there. But,
that's not how it goes. You're in there, that means you know where to go get all the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, with our education system, people don't understand things as well. Because if somebody can believe that it's a mostly peaceful protest, and it's and I have a picture of that actually here. Beware of Lawa, mostly peaceful protests is the Bernie movement. And
great.
But that's part of our slogan is beware of Lawa. And it's just because these are the people who are destroying our country. They lie and people don't hold them accountable. Accountability is so important. And we just don't have people holding us accountable.
We have none of that in Washington.
No. You can say whatever you want, and people believe you. Sometimes you get called on it. I mean, look at how many people they've talked about in the last year and a half who they're going to indict, and how many of people have been indicted and should have been indicted. It's just tons.
We haven't seen any of them.
Yeah,
and then both sides vote to not release the sexual harassment.
The Epstein thing?
The sexual harassment claims and payoffs from Congress members.
That's right.
Which is, how many voted for that? 50, 70 of them, maybe?
Probably the ones who weren't doing
the rest. What does that tell you? They want to hide their own sins and everything that they've done, yet they're out there yelling, let's see what Epstein did. Release these files and all this, but don't release ours.
And the insider trading too.
Oh, yeah.
That's something that they hammer Martha Stewart on. They're doing it themselves.
And I mean, I don't think Nancy Pelosi would have $3 to her name if it wasn't for her husband and all that stuff. And there needs to be a way to stop that. Well, there is a way. There is laws.
Yeah.
It's just, again, it's enforcing the laws. And that's what I want.
We're still on your bio, right?
Yeah.
You talk about your wife, kids, dogs.
I have a few cats, and we had 3 dogs, 3 huskies, but they passed.
Weren't you a pastor?
I am a pastor. Yes, I'm not at a current church right now, but I'm an ordained minister. Yes.
Okay. You can marry people right now.
Yes. Do you guys want to get married?
No. He's already married.
Absolutely
that's right. I forgot you are married. I'm sorry.
Of 20 years.
Forgive me, Mrs. Sanson. I did.
20 what?
20 years he's
Wow.
been married.
Her last
Likewise, good job.
her last
19
name
for
is
me.
her last name is not
Oh,
Sanson.
Samson?
It's
Okay.
not Sanson.
Okay.
And I'm
So-
not going to tell you what it is.
All right, that's
She
fine.
wanted to remain,
Yes.
you know.
I
Separate.
wasn't gonna say a thing. Okay, I was gonna keep quiet. No, yeah, I am an ordained minister, and I let's see what else. I started Save Education, Save America years ago. I'm a founder of that. Christ's Avengers, which was just what I was doing. I was doing an all-day seminar explaining to people the real history of America and how Christians need to start getting involved in politics.
Amen.
And if you don't, then you get what you deserve. And I don't think I deserve it. So get it. Christians need to be involved. But I explained the whole thing, how the reasons why we're the light of the world. Okay, that's what Christ said. We're the light of the world. So when the light leaves, it gets dark. And so when the light left the political realm got dark. And when we started this country, even both sides who fought a lot, they were both Christians. They were Christians and they prayed to the same God. And they tried. There was light in the room. Doesn't mean they didn't fight and didn't have arguments, but there was light there. And guess what that gives us too? Accountability.
Mm-hmm.
The accountability to Him. And I tell you what, I can put one over on you and maybe get away with it. Can't put one over on Him. He knows everything. So,
Well, I mean, just look over the years. They've been taking God out of everything. And this is what happens to society when, some people don't agree with that, and that's fine. But that's what I see.
that's what this country was founded on. George Washington said in his farewell address to the country, reason and experience both forbid you can have a national morality without a biblical principle. He said religious. Whenever the founding fathers used the word religious, they were talking about scripture, biblical scripture. When John Adams said our Constitution is only made for a moral and religious people, he was talking about Christian people, biblical people, because that's where you get your accountability. But they knew that the Constitution could be used against itself, which it is right now. I mean, they protect pornography, they protect all this, they protect lies, but they don't protect Christians. They throw them in a jail. They get mad at them.
So your faith is your strength.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to know a little bit about global. Like, how do you feel about what's going on in Iran today in the Middle East?
I think Iran got what it's deserved, and I think he's doing a good job of trying to keep the people safe. Now, I remember they said that school got
Who's doing a good job?
Trump,
Okay.
and President Trump, excuse me, should be respectful there. But they said the school, the CNN and those places were saying that they bombed a school.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't them. That was Iran who they screwed up.
They're killing their own people.
Yeah, which that was an accident probably, but I don't know. They might have blown it up just so they could
blame us.
blame us. That's very possible. Those people are an evil people. And
Not all of them.
No, of course not.
Just the Ayatollah
but
regime.
The Quran, if you read the Quran, it talks about, it specifically says in the Quran to hate Jews, hate Christians, and, the only way you befriend them is if you're tricking them. And so the Quran does have, and I know there's tons of Qurans, but, the word Allah actually means deceiver. And so, it's not a trustworthy religion in my opinion, but I mean, that's because of what I've read and a lot of the things I see. And yeah, I do know there are Muslims out there who are very nice and cordial, and I don't think they realize what their religion stands for. They have, and I think that's what their problem
And
is.
there used to be Christian Iranians before the Shah left.
Yeah, there's still Christians there, but they're being murdered.
Yeah, they're not outspoken.
Yeah, better not speak. You ain't going to get fired there.
Well, that probably is going to change very soon when that regime change happens.
Depends on who they get. It's important on who the next leader is.
Well, the prince wants to come back after he'd been exiled, so
Yeah.
I think the people want him to come back.
I do too. I do, and I hesitatingly encourage it.
What do you think about the relationship with Iran and China? Do you see China as a threat to America? What do you think about?
China's always a threat to America. I think what China's going to realize here in the next 10 years is all of a sudden their working class is going to be gone. Only having one kid per family, they're going to see an enormous decrease in their
I
population.
thought they changed that, no?
I think they did, but that was within the last. I'm not sure if they did, but if they did, it was in the last few years.
Well, what I heard is that if they have a girl, they abandon them.
Well, no, they kill them.
They kill them.
Yeah. If they find out it's a girl, they have an abortion.
That is so not right.
Oh, well, I mean, China's not what you call one of your more moral countries.
So
I can tell you some stuff that I read which would gross you out about what they do with the aborted fetus.
I love to hear it.
No, you really don't. But they made soup out of the aborted fetuses.
What? Soup?
So bad.
So you're a retired educator.
Right.
So how do you feel about the Board of Education? Should we get rid of it? Should we keep it?
I think we should keep it till we fix it and then get rid of it. I think it needs to be fixed. You see,
Keep it, fix it, then get rid of it?
Yeah.
But if you fix it, why do you want to get rid of it?
Well, because give it back to the states, but have have money be concerned. You see, the thing is, and I ask you this, how many laws were passed in Congress so that President Trump could get rid of the illegals? How many laws did they have to pass for him to do that in the last legislature?
We're the interviewer.
I know.
He just did it.
None.
Yeah,
Executive.
he just did
No,
executive
executive.
orders.
No, but it wasn't even executive. He just
Enforced the laws that are already on the books.
existed.
Oh.
And see, and that's what's great about it. And that's what we can do with education. Because you see, when they took prayer to school in '63, Justice Clark said, when it comes to education and religion, we must be neutral. Well, teaching homosexuality, transgender, abortion, sex outside of marriage, selfishness, and all these other things, those aren't neutral. They go directly against my religion, against my God. And so you need to wipe that out. You need to stop that. And 59% of what's being taught in our schools has nothing to do with reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's all social subjects, which is what John Dewey wanted when he started this whole thing. He was the inventor of the look-see method.
What's your political party?
Republican.
How do you plan to win a congressional district that's majority Democrat?
It's 6%. It's 6%. Is it? That's the only difference.
6.
6. It's not a big difference. Plus, the amount of people who are, and this is where Tony is a genius. Tony Dane, my campaign instructor. He's a consultant.
Mm-hmm.
He put a map, and he found out that almost 30%, somewhere between 25 and 30% of the Democrats in that district have voted for Republicans in elections.
So how come they're not winning?
Well, because they do win in, and they'll win in the smaller races, but they're in maybe smaller districts, but they don't win because someone like Carrie Buck, who's my opponent in the primary, she's like a Democrat, and she's voted for only 56% of the time with Republicans. They're not going to vote for a Republican who acts like a Democrat. They already got the Democrat in there, so why would they vote for the Republican? Just, they got the Democrat, let's keep them. Will never vote like a Democrat. I'm pro-God, pro-family, and pro-life. And there's just, we have learned through science that what's inside the womb is a living human being. I've seen an abortion at like 7-8 weeks. I've seen that baby fight while it's sucked out each one of its body parts until the head finally went down. It's terrible, and it needs to stop. And so that's what they want to. That's what they want to see. Someone who's strong enough to stand up for what they believe. They're going to say whatever you hear me say is what I will try to do. Like with the education thing. With what I was talking about, where they have to remain neutral. We don't have to make any laws. We just get what Trump, hey, let's just enforce these laws and go. There's Moms for Liberty, Power to Parent. There's so many organizations out there where you can hire those people to go into these schools and make sure they're not doing it. And also teach.
They're for hire.
Huh?
They're for hire?
Well, when I get in there, that's one of the things we're going to do, and from a federal level, is hire people to go in there and make sure they're not teaching. And you can hire some liberals too to go in there and make sure they're not teaching about Jesus Christ, but we need to stop it. We need to be neutral. Teach reading phonetically, math without calculators, and discipline. and the real history of this country. But discipline, kids don't have a right to tell me to go F myself. I'm sorry.
No,
Teachers don't quit because of how much pay they get, because we're not stupid. We knew when we were going in how much we were going to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
We quit because we're sick and tired of having some child tell us to go blank ourselves, and then the principal come in and blame us because they don't want to have to deal with parents.
Yeah.
And now, not everybody is like that, okay? Not all of them are like that, and all the schools are like that, but too many of them are. And that's what needs to be enforced.
Have you knocked on doors in your district? What's the concerns about your district? And before you answer that, what are the boundary lines?
Oh, okay. This is tough. All right. So, yeah, basically, the northern end is Lake Mead. So everything south of Lake Mead. And then it goes up Las Vegas Boulevard. Then at Sahara, it bumps up to I-15, then down to Sunset. So the whole strip is my district, then Sunset. And then it shoots up to St. Rose and over in that area. And it goes down. So Seven Hills and Green Valley is in ours. A lot of Henderson, all of Boulder City, all the way out to the border is ours. And then there's, a lot of places out towards the northern or the southern border, the state line. But mostly those people are, that's where tortoises and squirrels, and they're all registered Democrats, and they're the ones.
Even the squirrels.
Yeah, the squirrels, they registered because they voted for Dina Titus every time through.
Mm-hmm.
They get
universal balance.
Yeah.
So what are the concerns? Have you been knocking doors, and what are the concerns?
Yeah, the concerns are, I would have to say the biggest concern, economy is big, but education, they're tired of what's being taught in our schools. People are tired of that. They're tired of,
what are they telling you?
They're worried about their kid actually going to school a boy and coming back a girl. I mean, they're worried about that because they've seen that happen. There's actually cases where their kid, the schools renamed their kids Jamie from James because they felt like they wanted legally changed their names and didn't tell the parents. And so they're just concerned with what's happening in our country.
How could they legally do that?
I don't know how they legally do anything. I don't know how they can, burn down a building and call it peaceful. I don't know how they do things and get away with it, but they do. And that has to stop. And
when you say that statement, burn down the building and call it peaceful, or are you talking about the school system?
Right? Yeah. Well, not the school. I'm talking about
because I was talking about the school.
I know, but it was an analogy.
You're trying to confuse me.
No, it was an analogy, bro. Okay, I'm sorry.
So I
apologize.
As a congressman, how can you fix that?
Fix what?
With what you were just talking about, with parents being concerned about those things going on.
You take that out of the schools, make it illegal. If they don't do it, they don't get the funding. If they get caught doing it, the teacher's fired, the principal's fired. There's probably a lot of teachers out there who want to come back to teach, and probably a lot of kids out there who would like to be a teacher, but they don't want to go in and have those working conditions. Who would want that kind of working condition? Would you?
No.
I mean, how many times have I heard in my life, "Oh, I'm so proud of your teacher. I could never do that." Well, yeah, you could. You're smart enough to do it. And, you know your subject matter well enough, but they don't want to because they don't want some 5-year-old, 6-year-old telling them to go blank themselves. And it is first and second graders who do it. It's not just the adults. The older kids. It's the little ones.
What are the demographics in your area as far as Hispanics, blacks, whites?
It's pretty equal, black and Hispanic, I think. I'm not 100% sure.
When you say equal, what percentage is that?
I can't give you a percentage, but my estimate is probably 30-40%
of what?
Of black and Hispanics in that one, and then there's Philippines, which I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't have a clue what that one is, and whites are about 40%, 45%.
So, do you approve what President Trump is doing with the immigration policy?
Yes.
And how so?
We
why do you approve?
Well, okay. Let me put it to you this way. Let me show you, give you an analogy. So there's 10 kids. There's a family with 10 kids. I'll make it 8. I'll make it easy on you.
8 is enough.
8. Okay. So yeah. So there's 2 parents and 6 kids. Okay. I'm going to bring them to your house, and you have to take care of them. They're not going to bring anything.
I'm the wrong house.
No. Okay. Well, no. You don't have a choice.
I'm the wrong house.
Okay. But they're going to. You have to take. Doesn't matter. You have to take care of them. That's what's happening in America with illegal immigration. It's the same as adding, a family of 8 into all the households and trying to make that person without any extra income How are you going to survive? And that's what's happening to America. How can we possibly survive with all that extra money going out with very little coming in?
So you don't believe in open borders?
No.
And, you know, I tell people that believe in open borders, I say, why don't you just not lock your house? And
It's that was the analogy I was giving you. Let's throw
go in
your
the fridge.
That's right, kids for you.
Go in your
can have-
bed,
That's right.
sleep with your wife,
That's right.
leave. You know, I mean, might as well make it be a free-for-all.
Yeah.
I tell them to open up their house if they believe in open borders.
Yeah.
And not one of them going to.
Not one of them want to do that.
And the ones that also believe in gun-free zones or whatever, they're the ones with security guards.
That's right.
with weapons. They,
Yeah.
So why is politicians such a big hypocrite? Why are politicians hypocritical? Maybe that's why I'm a little hypocritical too, because I've been around a lot of politicians, probably rubbing off on me. So tell me, why are politicians hypocritical? Why do they tell you can't have a gun, but yet they have armed security? Why do they tell you we have to have open borders, but they lock all their doors and they live in a big mansion? They got security guards outside and they got a wall and all that cameras and all those lights coming on. Why do they do that? Explain
it's
that
a
to
simple
me.
answer.
All right, go ahead, tell me.
No.
My phone got dropped.
Not that you're passionate about this or anything, but it's simple. There's no accountability.
Why?
There's not. Well, they keep getting elected.
Why do we elect these people?
Well, because that's why I said I'm for it.
Are the
That's
voters-
why I said
are the
I'm all of a
voters that
sudden
stupid?
for
Are the
term
voters-
limits.
Are the voters that stupid?
Well, I'm not going to call anybody out there.
I
stupid.
can.
It's
Okay, you
low
can.
information
It's-
voters.
Low
But it's-
information voters.
Or people just don't, they're apathetic. They don't want to be involved in politics. They don't like it and they just check,
And that's
you know,
Hold on,
or
let me
they
say
don't
something.
vote.
Folks, everything is politics. The lights you turn on,
That's
the
right.
water you run, every damn thing is political.
So
Get that in your head.
vote.
there's politics in churches out there, but I mean, everything is. You're right. But the thing is there's no accountability, which again is kind of like why I set them for term limits again. But again, it's because we don't teach our kids. We've been doing this for I think 6 generations of school generations. The school generation is 13 years from K to 12. And so that's a generation. Every generation, we're graduating millions and millions of kids who have been taught to become liberal Lawa Democrats. That's what they are. Liberal Lawa Democrats. Lawa. I've said that term about 5
It's
times.
on his,
It's the thing. LAWA. I've been waiting for you to ask me that. I've been just,
Well,
it's,
there you go. We're asking. What's LAWA?
it's Liberal Agenda to Weaken America.
Okay, so it's an acronym.
And that's it's an acronym for Liberal Agenda to Weaken America.
Like
and they're not
BLM.
just Democrats.
Like BLM,
Right,
Bureau of Land Management.
right. But there's Republicans like Carrie Buck. She's a Lawa Republican, and there's a lot of Lawa Republicans out there. Liz Cheney. I mean, she was a poster child for Lawa Republican, and see, the thing is there's so many Democrats out there who are JFK type Democrats, and in my district they are out there. They believe in the not what you can do for you, not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And they believe in that, and that's the people we're going to come see. Because I'm not against the Democrats; it's the Lawa Democrats, the people who want to weaken our country, and what's going to save it is CASA, CASA, which is your home. It's conservative agenda to strengthen America. And that's CASA. We're out to defeat Lawa. We're getting rid of Lawa Democrats, Lawa Republicans. We're tired of it because
They were rhinos.
Well, no, not anymore. They're Lawa Democrats. They're Lawa Republicans.
Is that a graduate or that's a demotion?
It's terrible. It's a demotion, in my opinion. It's worse. But for instance, how long did it take us to get rid of Roe v. Wade? That was the Dobbs Act. Okay, in 2023, Carrie Buck fixed that when she voted for that pro-abortion act, which made it to where people from out of state can come here and have an abortion and their records will be hidden. That literally overturned Lawa. That literally overturned the Dobbs Act. Roe v. Wade is back. Every state in the union is now a pro-choice state because all they have to do, the only difference, they have to come here, which is great for Nevada. We get all the the money. Yeah. And so
do you think that there should be a national abortion ban?
I think so. Yes. I think abortion is terrible. I think it should fall under murder.
What
Because
about
I believe what's in the
exceptions?
womb, huh?
What about exceptions?
Rape, incest, it's still a baby. I've got 2 friends.
So no exceptions.
The only thing, the life of the mother, that's never been against the law in America. It's never been against the law to save the life of America. But I tell you what that law will do that Carrie Buck signed.
Mm-hmm.
That law will make it legal. If question 6 passes, it will make it legal to do backyard, or what do you call them?
Background check?
Back alley abortions. That will make back alley abortions legal.
So Mr. Blockey, I'm just trying to fix this in my head. You know, the Republican platform, they say that they don't want people on abortion. Not abortion. They don't want people on welfare.
Right.
And they don't want this. They don't want people on welfare. They don't want people clogging up our school system. If there's a let me see if I could put this.
Are you talking about legals or illegals?
No. I'm talking about abortion. Some people have abortion based on their own personal needs. And when people ask me about abortion, I said it's between you, your God, and your family, because your God is probably different than your God, and your God is probably different than from your God. Some people are monks, some people are Muslims, some people are Catholic. It depends on your God. And when it comes to abortion and people having 5 or 6 kids, they got to go on welfare. And now we, the taxpayers, have to pay for all those kids because they have them all and they can't go to work. And we got to pay their own welfare, and then we got to pay for their kids, right?
No,
so
true.
I can't understand. In one hand, they say we shouldn't have abortion. And in the next hand, they say, well, you know, we shouldn't put these people on welfare. But then it's like a double negative, because some people can't afford to go to work because they have all these kids, and they can't afford daycare because of all these kids. So they're on welfare. And then you and I got to pay for it. But while you and I are watching how many kids we are having, and they're not. So not only do we have to pay for their kids, we have to pay for our kids. And paying for their kids is with our tax dollars, right? So I understand abortion up until a certain period of time. I don't understand a complete wipeout of abortion, because back in the day, people were using coat hangers and they get killed, kill themselves. Back in the day, people are going to Mexico to have abortions. So I think it's going to be in a worse situation than it is currently.
Do you want people accountable or not? You know, back in the day, they didn't know.
Not everybody think like that, though.
Let me finish. Back in the day, they didn't know it was a baby. They thought it was tissue, and you know, they lied about the number of people.
I've
women.
never seen that.
They lied about the number of people who were dying. Mm-hmm. It wasn't 1,000. It was 54. Okay. It wasn't 1,000. It was 54. More people die from legal abortions today than died for illegal ones back then, because most of them aren't reported. Mm-hmm. And so it's a matter of accountability. If you know you can go out there and do whatever you want, just have an abortion, you're going to go out and do whatever you want. Part of being accountable, part of having sex is having a baby. And so we need to leave the schools out of it. Stop telling them here's condoms, you know, throwing condoms at them, do it safely. You know, I mean, I remember when I could have never done that. And I could have never, you know, you get too excited, you know, when you're that young. And so it's a matter of, you know, if you abstain, and I don't want to teach that in our schools. I want to teach it in our home. People at, you know, homes. I want the schools to be neutral, but people at home say, you know, if you do that, you know, if you have a baby, then you're going to be held accountable. Do you know how many adoptions that don't go through?
How many?
More than there are abortions. There are people who want to adopt out there. So there are other options than abortion. If you believe that what's in the womb is a baby, then you have no right to kill it any more than you kill her, or me, or anybody else.
So you don't believe the woman's body, that she should have a choice?
Yeah, I believe the woman should have a choice. I believe
you're not bathing her, you're not wiping her ass, you're not feeding her.
That's right.
You're not putting a roof over her head. Don't you think the woman has a right to her own body? Well, I don't think men should be involved in women having an abortion, because men are not carrying the baby. Men are not, you know, feel that attachment with the baby in their womb for 9 months. It's not a man that feels all that. It's a woman. Why does a man tell a woman that she can or cannot have an abortion?
Can a woman legally do drugs, sell her body? No. Can a woman go out and kill somebody? No. I mean, so why should she be allowed to
The
kill?
same thing with men.
Why should
Men could use drugs and men could go out
Right,
and kill.
that's right.
I'm talking about something a man can't do.
See,
Men can't carry a kid.
All women's choice is like reproductive rights. It's a kind word for murder. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but when a sperm feeds the egg, as soon as it fertilizes the eggs, a light goes off. A light goes off every time. A light goes off. That's the soul that's going in there. But the thing is, it's not whether it's a woman's choice. That has nothing to do with it. It's not reproductive rights. Is what inside the womb, is it a living human being? If it is, it has the rights to our constitutional right to life.
But you do understand a lot of people bring religion into
I
politics, and it's supposed to be a
course.
separation
But see, the
between
point is,
religion and politics, right?
the point is we have been badgered with that for over 50 years. We've been told that. So naturally, it's inbred in us that it's a woman's choice. It's inbred in us. You don't have any right to that. You know, that's my baby, so I think I should have a say in it. But we've been inbred so often through our school system and through CNN and through our liberal Lawa people that it's just a piece of tissue. I've seen an abortion. Okay, I've seen it.
That's
You know,
awful.
I've seen that baby when they suck it out piece by piece. I've seen the baby, and the last thing that goes out is the head, and you see those eyes pop down that suction tube, and it's terrible. And if it's long enough, they burn it to death, and then they pull it out. I mean, it's just there's nothing good about it. And usually, a woman who goes through an abortion, so she's had two, she's killed the baby, and then she lives with that. There are also, because of the things that happen, they're a lot more susceptible to breast cancer in their life. They're a lot more susceptible to a lot of diseases because they stopped that process.
But do we really want to be paying our tax dollars and welfare and taking care of other people's kids?
No, I don't want to do that. But
Guess what? What's the alternative?
Okay, well, the alternative is
How about you put the responsibility and accountability where it belongs?
Right.
And that is the people having sex, getting pregnant, not using birth control. I mean, my gosh, you can go get a free condom anywhere. Go to Planned Parenthood. There is no reason that these people need to be getting pregnant like this. There's absolutely none. Not in today's day and age.
Not everybody think like that. I used to be.
I think a lot of people are thinking like that.
I used to be anti-abortion when I was younger.
I've never been anti-abortion. I'm not anti-abortion.
I used to be
I'm pro-life.
Now,
anti-abortion is a negative connotation.
I used to be sorry. I used to be pro-life when I was younger. Now I'm like, it's between you, your God, your family, and your doctor.
Right.
That's who should make the decision.
I think
strangers should not make a decision.
I understand
for her,
but I think I should have the right. If you piss me off, I should be able to kill you.
Now that's a whole different
Why?
story.
See, that's my point. What's in the womb is no different than her. She's just an older version of what's in the womb.
Well, she doesn't. Well, in the womb, you don't have a name and social security number, the date of birth, and all that.
Tell you what, go to a mountain, find a bald eagle egg, and steal it and kill it, and see how much time you spend in jail.
Okay, let's do rapid fire real quick. What do you think of Trump buying Greenland?
I think I like it.
You'd like it?
Yeah.
How about his operation in Venezuela?
I think he's doing good. Venezuelans are starting to like us again.
How about the Second Amendment?
Oh.
You'll defend it always?
Always, man. I've actually been asked to leave places because I'm carrying.
This has been a very interesting conversation. I would love to have you on and just talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I used to be one way, and now I'm more the other way.
It's because you've been indoctrinated enough to where you've kind of gotten a thin skin over it.
No, I think I lived a lot longer than what I did back then.
Abortion. What about tariffs? You like tariffs? What he's doing?
Oh my gosh! I mean, what's Trump's doing with tariffs? I mean, look at what Canada's crying, and some of their tariffs are 125%. Come on.
Should any foreign country own our farmland here in the U.S.?
None of their houses, anything. And China's doing that through, I think it's Blackstone or Breckenridge or something. They're buying up our houses. BlackRock, thank you. And they're buying up our houses and renting them out because they want us to be renters. They don't want us to be buyers.
Are you glad that Kristi Noem has been taken out of?
I'm going to tell you, I don't know enough about that to make it a comment. Because I just found out about it. I just read about it. And so
And how about Pam Bondi? She doing a good job, or she
I
need to
thought
be
she was
fired?
doing okay, yeah. But again,
We haven't seen any indictments.
well, that's true. You're
Okay.
right there. I mean, we haven't seen any indictments, but a lot of times I know I've watched Law and Order a lot, and so it takes a long time to get somebody arrested. So I don't know because Law and Order is not. But
what are
yes,
the top 3 things on your platform? 1, 2, 3 of importance.
God, life, and education.
Well, Mr. Blockey, we have gone over.
Oops.
This is because we're getting passionate. This is your time to look at the camera and tell folks why they should vote for you, and if you have any website or anything.
Oh yeah, yeah. My name is Jim Blockey, and it's Blockey Blockey 4 Congress.com, and we need volunteers. We need donations. Obviously, we're going to be out at the Speedway from Thursday. We went and put our stuff up there today, and we'll be out there till Sunday through the races, which, man, it looks so cool out there. No, we didn't wrap a car, but we have our motorhome out there, and we have our signs, and you can come out. We'll give you a free hot dog and some popcorn and just have a great time together. But we obviously, like, we need money, but, we need your vote more than anything. But if you want someone to keep accountable, that's me, because you can call me anytime and anywhere. And if I don't do anything that I've said I'm going to do when I get up to Washington, it doesn't mean I'm successful, but I'm going to fight for it, and I will fight for you. Then you call me and tell me, hey, that's not what you said, because I don't ever want to do anything that I don't say I'm going to do.
How are they going to call you?
702-348-7726. That's my cell number. I got it on me right now. If you call me, it'll vibrate. And so anytime.
Well, Mr. Blockey, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Hey, I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Have you really?
Oh, yes.
I hope it met your standards. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Folks, that's Jim Blockey, candidate for Nevada's Congressional District Number 1. And you could come on our show, and we don't always have to agree. I mean, if we do agree all the time, then, none of us learn a doggone thing. Or somebody's line, and they got some husband and wives that say, we never argue for 30 years. I'm like, somebody's lying. Somebody's a little wimp saying, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, and not speaking up. That's not the type of show we have. This is Steve Sanson, Stephanie Phillips of Veterans in Politics. Until next time, we have another show.